Hello there, I hope you're doing well and welcome to the October update of my project pen. These are makeup products in my collection that I want to finish up, and I do a video every month recording their progress, so let's get started into the October update. I'm only going to mention products I made progress on, as well as products I'm getting rid of and products I want to add to the project to save some time because I have to study for tests next week. Alright, the first item we have here is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, one of the best bronzers out there. The cap of my bronzer is broken, so I can't close it correctly. Also, don't mind my chapped nails, the nail polish fell off. Well, I peeled it off, I forgot I was going to film today. So I've had a pan on this bronzer already for months, and I think it's expanding bigger and bigger, which is very exciting. I can't wait to pan the whole bronzer. What is your favorite bronzer? I need some bronzer suggestions, so when I finish this up, I will try a new bronzer. Alright, next we have the Canmake Marshmallow Finish Powder. This is my favorite face powder. Mine looks like this. I bought the original face powder and then I refilled it once, refilled it twice, so this is the third pan I have right here. As you can see, there's a lot of little scratches on my packaging. I've already had this face powder for like years now. I want to finish this up and then get their new updated formula or packaging. I'm not sure if they changed the formula of it, but I know the packaging got changed into like a cookie-shaped golden face powder, which looks really cute. Speaking of powders, I'm adding a new powder to my project pen. This is the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Pad. I went through like 3 or 4 of the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral powders. It's a little 5-gram loose powder. It's translucent, it controls oil, and feels very smooth on the skin once you apply it. I really like that one, and I remember I bought the compact powder version of it to try it, as I forgot it in some makeup bag and totally forgot that I have this compact. So I found it, I'm going to put it in my project pen and finish it up, because I think this powder is already years old. I already have a pan iron, so that's a good thing. I just gotta make it expand and then finish the whole thing. The powder puff is really yellow. I think it was white when I bought it. It's been years. I've said it in my previous videos before, I'm not encouraging anyone to use expired makeup, especially if you have sensitive skin, please don't. I don't want any irritation to happen to you. I like to use my makeup products even if they are past the expiration date, because I have like good memories with them, because I spend a lot of money on them, or because I simply really like them. And so far nothing bad has happened to my skin, so far everything's alright, and I don't see my makeup growing moles or changing color or changing formula or anything, so I kept on using them. But if anything happens to my products, like the consistency change or the texture change or the color change, I will stop to use them immediately. Next powder we have here is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Highlighting Powder. This is Lightning Dust Fire Crystal. Powders are the most exciting items for me in my project pen because you really get to see the pen and the progress, and that's really exciting. This is my Lightning Dust Fire Crystal Highlighter. I've already had a pen in this one since 2 months ago, and it's slowly expanding. I think the powder here got really thin. It definitely got much thinner than before. I think the pen will expand much bigger in the next months. I really like this highlighter because you got the choices of doing a natural highlighter or more blinding, intense highlight. You can use this for different looks. I had a pen on this already for 2 months, but I didn't make any progress on this one because I just found it to be too light for me. Like, it's a very wide blinding highlighter. I don't find many occasions to use it, but it is really pretty. That one is Fire Crystal, this is Lightning Dust, the one I hit pan on. This one definitely looks warmer, more natural for my skin tone, and much more subtle. I'm excited to hit pan in this shade as well and finish up the whole highlighter, so I can try out more highlighters from Fenty Beauty or some other brands. I think I will also hold the compact once it's finished because I really like the packaging of it. The white color on the outside have like a slight purple sheen to it, which is very pretty. The mirrors are really nice size. I also like the geometric shape of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 edges, which makes it an octagon. I learned everything from pentagon to nonagon. We have 2 more powders here. This is a Benefit Hoola bronzer in the mini size. I've had this circular pen already here for months. I can't tell if it expanded at all. For me, it looks always the same to me. I use this from time to time when I want a matte bronzer. I think the color of it is really good. It's pretty pigmented. It's very nice. Remember when Benefit blushes and bronzers were really popular and everyone talks about the Benefit Hoola bronzer and their brow products? It feels like throughout the years Benefit have like died down. I don't hear people talk about Benefit cosmetics anymore. This is my Nars blush. If you've seen my previous project pen videos before, you know I've been struggling trying to pen this. The blush looks like this. It's a very pretty orgasm but darker berry pink shade. It's very pretty, it's discontinued, but I just can't hit pan on it. It feels like Nars really want to make their products worth the money and I just really can't even see a dent in it. I've been using this for so long, for years, and I can't see a pen. What I really don't like about it is the rubbery plastic packaging. Like when the blush is new, the packaging actually looks cute. It have a nice texture of rubbery plastic. But once you've had it for a long time, it gets scratches, shimmer stick on it, dirt stick on it, fingerprint stick on it. It gets scratches. I don't know, it just starts to look really cheap. This doesn't look like a $30 product at all. Speaking of rubbery plastic packaging, I'm adding another product to my project pan because this eyeshadow palette is turning Nars. And by that I mean, look at the rubbery plastic packaging. Shimmer particles, dust particles, it's all sticking on it, and the whole palette just looks dirty because of it. I really don't like when that happens to my makeup products. I got this palette from my friend. At the time, she bought a new warm tone neutrals eyeshadow palette, so she gave this one away to me, and at the time she already hit pan on this shade. She liked to use this as an all over the eyelid base shade, and I can see why it's very pretty warm tone shade. When I got it, I used it in a video one day and I dropped the palette accidentally, so this one and this one broke off. Like the shimmer thing just fell on the floor, and this was the first time it happened to me with eyeshadow, and I freaked out. And then I carefully picked the things back up into the palette and smooshed it with the bottom of a makeup brush. I was feeling so accomplished once I finished the surgery because I successfully smooshed the two shimmery eyeshadow back and they never fell out again. I like this palette. There's a lot of very pretty shades, pretty textures, pretty glitters. I will use this very often and I will try to hit pan on every single shade. I really like Korean eyeshadow palettes. The ones I've tried so far from Etude House, from Roman, from 3CE, they're all pretty nice. The eyeshadow palettes from Clio looks really nice and they come with a brush and the shades look so good on pictures. I never got to try it yet. If you have tried them, please let me know what you think about the Clio eyeshadow palettes. I had an addiction with eyeshadow palettes. I bought a lot of palettes, even though it's like not a lot compared to people with bigger collections, but I felt like I had a addiction. Every time I see eyeshadow palettes, it's either the packaging, the swatches, the variety of shimmers and mattes, the colors, the shade range. Everything makes me really like to buy eyeshadow palettes. And I decided that I have to stop to buy eyeshadow palettes because I have more than I can use. There's palettes sitting in my collection for already months and I haven't even touched them. Recently I just threw away a mini eyeshadow palette from Maybelline. There's 6 shades inside and I haven't touched it in like over a year, and that's like really bad. I shouldn't buy makeup and not use them. It's like an addiction, so I set a rule for myself. For now, if I see a makeup product I want to buy or a makeup collection from a certain brand I want to try, I'll just wait a month and see if I still want to buy it. If I still want it after a month, I will buy it. And guess what? I haven't bought any new makeup products because it's always like on the heat thing. I see something on Instagram, I really like it, I watch videos on it, but then if I force myself to wait a month, I find myself not like wanting that item anymore, and that's really good. If you are struggling with a makeup addiction, try this trick out. Wait a month and see if you still want to buy the products, and I bet most of the time you don't even want the products anymore. So now that I added my 3CE palette into the project pan, I'm taking one palette out. This is my Colourpop. It's a Princess Sing palette. I've mentioned in my previous videos before, this is the first eyeshadow palette I ever bought for myself. I hit pan on 3 shades in here. I don't have a goal of hitting pan on more shades here. I just put it in my project pan bag to use it along with my other stuff. I never had a goal on it, and I didn't want to throw it away because this is my first real eyeshadow palette and I wanted to hold it because of the sentimental values. But now that I'm trying to hit pan on other palettes, I'm going to take this one out. Do you remember what is the first Colourpop eyeshadow palette you ever bought? I think a lot of people have Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. They come out with so much releases, they're so affordable, there's so many different color themes. I'm very curious what's the first Colourpop eyeshadow palette you've bought if you have bought one. For the other palette in my project pan, the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice one, I still haven't hit pan on any shades. I did use those warm colors. I think if I hit pan on anything, this one would be the first one I hit pan on, but I don't even see a dent on it. It's hard to pan. Another thing is that I'm a slow panner when it comes to eyeshadow because as you can see I have smaller eyelid space compared to a lot of other people. If you have big eyelid space, I bet you use like 2 or 3 times the amount of eyeshadow compared to me. I have 3 concealers in my project pan from Nars, Maybelline and the Saem. As you can tell, they are pretty old. So I really like the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer because it looks super natural. This is a shade 20 Sand. When I apply this onto my skin, it looks exactly like the color of my skin, and when I blend it out, you can't even tell I'm wearing any makeup at all. So on some days, when I want to do stuff like no makeup, I'm just going to tap this onto my blemishes, dark areas, I blend it out, and then you can't even tell I'm wearing makeup. It looks super natural. I haven't used it much this month. I've been using the same concealer a lot, so I haven't made progress on it. If you're looking for a good drugstore concealer, this one is really good. This is a Perfection Tip Concealer from the brand the Saem. It's a Korean makeup brand, and I really like it because it's very affordable. It looks very natural. It feels really good. It's super easy to blend. I love to wear this with my cushion foundations and other liquid foundations. It works really well. I have it in the shade 1.5, and I bought another shade 1.75, so I'm trying to finish this one up. And I used it today, so the stick was moved and you can't tell like the empty areas anymore. You can't see the empty areas. Before I used it, you can tell it's like 40% done. So I'm almost finishing this concealer. I just want to finish this up. And then this is a Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, a very popular concealer. So back when I didn't have any concealer, I only used foundation. I discovered that there are concealers out there. So I searched on the internet on the best concealers, and the ones that popped up on a lot of beauty review sites are the Maybelline one and the Nars concealer. So when the first Nars store opened in our city, I went there and I bought a concealer. This is the shade Custard. It's very close to my skin color. I really like it. When I use this, it feels like it looks exactly like my skin color, which I really like. I'm really good at picking concealer shades, but I'm bad at picking foundation shades. My foundation shades are either too white for me or too orange for me. I'm bad at picking foundation shades. I have a new one of this concealer in my storage, so I'm going to finish it up and then open up the new one. The only thing that I can't tell like how much progress I've made. I can't scrape it and see if there's any empty areas at all. So maybe there's still a long way to go. I'm not sure. Also really hate the rubbery packaging that looks like this now. Looks very cheap. Guys, I finished up a lip balm. This is a Nivea lip balm that I put in my project pen bag. This is fully twisted up. It's completely flat and it's finally done. So I finished this one up. I still have one here that I put in my room, and I have 4 more in my storage, so there's 5 more to go. Finally, I finished up something that I can get out of my project pen bag. Now for the last 2 items I want to talk about are lip products. I'm not wearing anything on my lips right now because I just ate spicy food and my lips are burning. So this is my YSL lipstick. I've made good progress. This is all that's left. I feel like... why does that look like the same like last month? I used it a lot this month, but it doesn't look like it's getting smaller at all. I'm looking forward to the day where I'm finishing this lipstick. Should I reward myself with something? Like once I finish this lipstick, I will reward myself with a new luxury lipstick? Maybe? For the final product, we have a Nars lipstick here. This is a Nars Powermatte Lip Pigment in the shade Somebody to Love. So for this lipstick, I have a story. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you've heard it before. I got this lipstick from my dad. When he went on a trip to Hong Kong, he brought this back for me. So Hong Kong have a lot of makeup brands that we don't have here. And at the time, my dad asked me if I want to try any brands that we don't have here. He can bring it back for me. And at the time, Nars didn't have a store here. Now they do, but before they didn't. And I told my dad I want to try the brand Nars. I wanted the blush in the shade Dolce Vita, but that was sold out along with many other blush shades. That's why I had to settle for Outlaw. And the lady in the shop recommended to him this lipstick formula. She said there were new shades. So my dad picked a nude color for my mom and a bright pinkish fuchsia shade for me. I was really excited to see those Nars products, and then I checked the names of it, and the one he brought for my mom, this nude one, is called Somebody to Love, and the one he brought back for me, the fuchsia pink one, is called You Are No Good. And it's funny, he told me he didn't even see the shade names. He didn't realize he bought something like that. My mom ended up not liking the lipstick and gave it to me. It's a very dry formula, but a very pigmented formula. So if you want a really pigmented lipstick and you don't mind the dryness, this one would be a very pigmented lipstick. This is a very pretty maroonish brown color, but a little bit cooler. It's a pretty lipstick for fall. And that, guys, is the October update of my project pen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you will have a great day, and I wish you the best on your project pen as well. I will see you in my next video. Bye!